Hello. I'm so sorry about that. So very sorry about that. Clearly lost my train of thought and I'll wind up shortly. I copied the comments that I'd failed to respond to so I can pick up from where I left off, although I'm gonna have lost some people, clearly. Um, Time to drop the deuce. This is the new one. Live stream part 2. Yes. Thank you so much for coming back. No doubt I would have annoyed enough people to do other things, make them do other things. Fart jokes it is then. Yeah, because I was getting towards the end. Um, because yeah, and I've even saved it in a Word doc. That's how autistic I am. I must make sure I complete task, respond to people, no ambiguity whatsoever. Um, so Arlene said she was raised on ABA techniques. So bear with me, everyone, as you already have done. Um, Kitty said, "Did anyone ever believe or disbelieve that I'm autistic?" Um, Paul, the other day I was at a local brewery. I told the bartender why I wear earplugs and told him I'm autistic. Bartender replies back, "Oh well, I have my preferences too. We are all autistic." Oh, I didn't mind the first bit where I have my preferences too, because that's fine. But we are all autistic. Nope. Rextic, after my divorce, I met someone, and after a few dates, she said that she couldn't figure out what or who I was. I realized I didn't know either and went to a therapist who suggested autism. Fantastic result. Got there in the end. Good news. Um, remember being told when I was young that the world won't change for you. It taught me that my needs don't matter. Wow, how powerful was that? So I'm reading from a Word doc. Is Harriet still here? Uh, Fuck, lost her. Um, that's really powerful. That I'm glad I've copied and pasted it from the previous live stream. I will catch up with the other, the more recent comments. So I told what the world won't change for you. It taught me that my needs don't matter. So I'm going to think about that. Wow. I never expected the world to change for me, just not punish me for being different. This is the source of everything that's terrible, is it not? Yeah. Being punished for being different. Paul, waiting in line at the bank. I've my phone at my ear so I can hear the chat. I'm flapping my other hand, and some neurotypical guy looks at like, "What the hell are you doing?" Well, you do you. Let him do him. Although if he's been mean to you, that's not fair, obviously. Moose said the hardest time allowing myself to stim due to the amount of ridicule. I'm pretty interested in stimming. Maybe we can talk about that in more detail. Because I feel like I'm missing out. It doesn't really apply to me. And we're all different. Autism is a spectrum, and I feel like the stimming part of the spectrum, that as a trait, doesn't apply to me other than listening to songs on repeat. But flapping and I mean nail biting, yeah, is that stim? Maybe. But yeah, maybe find out more about that. Harriet Collie commented that my attention to detail was a superpower. It was useful for the task I was doing, but it's not useful when trying to sleep and noticing every stitch on the pillow. Yeah. I'm so glad I copied these. Just wish my connection hadn't cut out. I'm really sorry about that, everyone. My mate Dave is a good bit. Nice. Welcome to the live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. Absolutely. So I think I was getting there towards the chat. I wonder if Harriet's here. Anyway, you're here. 15. That's really impressive commitment. Well done, everyone. Thank you. Everyone left the last stream. Yeah, well, I had to terminate it. Stop it, because this thing. I mean, it's 11:20 in the UK. I can only wonder what people are doing on the internet at 11:20 on a Friday night once pubs shut. Can only I can only speculate what people might be doing. I'll just leave it there. And I'm guessing because I don't understand technology or the internet, because it's all magic to me. How the hell is this working? No idea. I'm guessing that people are watching the internet at this very same moment that we're trying to have this cozy chat, and it cut out my internet connection. So I'm sorry, but we're here now. Let's carry on. Let's talk about stimming. Um, Helen, hello. Isabella, hello again. Lucy, and we're back. I thought it was part. You're right. It's part trois. Correct. But I deleted the original live stream as I predicted I would. Nonsense. The perfect way to end the last sentence was, "This is how it feels when I burn out," and then blackness. Thank you. That makes me feel better, actually. Thank you for that, because I do like patterns and neat endings, and I'll take that. If I'm gonna be cut out from my own live stream, if I'm gonna end on burnout, talking about burnout, I will take that. Charles. Um, yeah, I was just joking about neurodivergent. I can totally conform, never get burnt out. It's always easy, and I don't find it difficult to communicate with people. I'm not sensitive at all. Okay. Stimming can take lots of forms. My stim's usually vocal. Yeah, echolalia, s- a word probably still don't truly understand. Probably can't spell it. Is that how you spell echolalia? I did this weird thing at university. So anyone of a certain age, remember, I think it was a Doritos advert, and the guy would say to his friends, "I chihuahua." Uh, That meant that the Doritos or whatever the product was a good thing that his mates should be interested in. And he'd go, "I chihuahua." And I really liked the sound of that, clearly, because I said it at any given opportunity and wondered why people. I didn't just randomly do it. I did it within a small group of friends, or I like to call them friends. They were friends until I said "I Chihuahua" one more time than was acceptable to them, and they were like, "Why? Why?" We're trying to have a chat about, I don't know, who's trying to sleep with who, or how much the price of a pint is, or who's number one in the charts, and you're going "I Chihuahua." So yeah, echolalia. 25 years ago. I had no idea that's what it was, but I liked saying it, so that was a stim. I thought I was just showing off, but there was no need to say it more than once, and there was no need to say it once because everyone had seen that advert. So me saying something that was already scripted for an advert that everyone could see was completely unnecessary. So clearly I was doing it because I enjoyed the sound. So that was a stim. But I don't think I've done that sort of thing since. That was 25 years ago. So yeah, didn't know I was autistic. Well, I was autistic because I've always been autistic. Um, Lucy's here. Nice. Already acknowledged it here. Shona's here. Hello, we're back. Thank you very much for coming back. I've lost about 5 of you. Wow. I mean, I'm really impressed, guys. Well done. Um, so Isabella, I really have to stop trying to be funny. No, don't stop trying to be funny. I thought I should have stopped much sooner, 25 years ago, when I was going "I Chihuahua," wondering why no one was laughing. That's when I should have stopped. No one's finding it funny. Stop repeating a catchphrase that's not even really a catchphrase from a crisp advert. Just don't do it. But I didn't get the hint because I don't really get hints because I'm autistic. So I took people's unanimous indifference as encouragement to keep repeating this meaningless phrase from a crisp advert. "Oh, do you want me to say it again?" "No, we don't want you to do that again." "Okay, I will." "Oh, well, at least it's material for a live stream 25 years from now." Always a silver lining. Right. Echologist, internalized echolalia, constant repetition of sounds, songs, or phrases in your head. Did not know that until now. Thank you. Um, yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me because I think I do possibly stim in that way more than the traditional echolalia. So I don't verbalize a phrase, but it will go around in my head. Yeah, good stuff. Um, echolalia. Okay. Developed a healthier suite of stims. Suite of stims. Here is my suite of stims. Which one would you prefer today? Would you prefer the crisp advert repetition, or the finger clicking, or the hand flapping, or the house music on repeat, or the pacing up and down, or a combination of all from my suite of stims? I will perform them all simultaneously if you like, but then I'm being very daft. Well, obviously I'm being daft, but that's particularly disingenuous because we don't stim for what other people do it, we stim for ourselves. But you know that. So why am I telling you that as if you're 4 years old? I don't know. Hi, Charlie. Hello. Um, Never Stop, Never Stopping. Yeah, need to watch that film. Sort of X Factor parody, isn't it? Never Stop, Never Stopping. Um, I'm getting a distinct smell of weed, and it's not from. I hope it's not from upstairs because that's where my daughter is. I suspect it's coming from the pub or next door, or the students loitering, quoting crisp adverts to each other. Hmm. Sorry, very disappointing. Got very intermittent internet connection and the smell of illegal substances. I'm just living in the center point of decadence. It's just oof, disgusting for a middle-aged man trying to do a live stream. At school, I used to chew through pencils at an alarming rate. Kept having to break off the lead sticking out of the back end. That is that is a first world problem, but a problem worth sharing nonetheless. Um, Sometimes I feel a bit too much when I write my silly messages. Isabella, if it make any consolation, I I did it today. I I commented. I wasn't trying to be funny. I was commenting. I was praising a comedian. What's his name? Mark. There's a lot of people called Mark in the world. What was the dude's name? Mark Simmons. He's a pretty funny English comedian, and I'm a bit all or nothing. I either won't comment, or when I do comment, sorry, getting a smell of weed. It's getting in my throat. Christ, it's like I'm living next door to a drug den. Oh, disgusting. I'd never do anything like that. Um, Mark Simmons, yeah, and I scrolling on my phone, saw this clip, thought, oh, it's really funny, as it usually is with him. And I praised him. I just went over the top. I was like, you're amazing. I think I scared him. Or I'm overanalyzing it. He probably thought nothing of it. Anyway, nothing is silly here, Isabel. Just feel free to be yourself. Indeed. Just you carry on. I'll just try and maintain an internet connection for the next, let's call it, I don't know, 10 or so minutes, 15 minutes. I'll leave you in peace. Hopefully my internet connection maintains itself, and hopefully I don't keel over from other people's fumes. It's quite funny, really, given how I started off chanting about flatulence, isn't it? You have to see me slumped on the laptop. It's like, did he fart himself to death? No, it genuinely smells like weed. Um, Should have a break into song because somebody says something which brings it to mind. Yeah, I've read about this. I think it's the synapses, the autistic brain. It's like, you just love factual connections. Like a word will. I did it when I was washing the dishes today. I can't remember what the connection was, but I just remember thinking, I think my daughter said something, and then that made me think of something unrelated to the conversation that she was having. But it was the words, our words that she said, that sparked a memory. I don't think that's usual. I think that's a typically autistic thing to do. But of course, I've got the self-awareness now to realise that, whereas before I realised I'm autistic, I just thought everyone did that. But, all right, when you hear that word, do you immediately start singing that song in your head? You don't do that. Why not? Oh, because you're not autistic. What's autism? What are you talking about? So I thought everyone did that. Yeah, because not everyone's neurotypical, not everyone's autistic. Um, Sometimes I play Sudoku in my mind, but it's frustrating because I can't turn it off. If that makes sense. It does make sense. Yeah, brain's always wearing on. Scott, someone leads up to one of my catalogue references from movie songs. I'm compelled to finish the line out loud. It only as a private joke to myself, regardless if anyone else picks up on it. Yeah, sounds like the sort of thing that I would do. Yeah, why not? Because you can't resist. Because your brain, you just want to get it out there, share useful information, or well, maybe not useful information, interesting information, something that you love, that you don't get the chance to share very often. It's like, "Oh, I want to finish that sentence because you're talking about something I'm interested in, and I'm usually keeping it up there, like all day. I'm keeping it up there, and then a conversation happens where you've got the opportunity to finish a quote from a film that you love, or share a fact that you read on Wikipedia, and then you share it, or you finish the sentence, and then someone goes, "Why do you do that?" It's like, well, because we're talking about something that we're both interested in. Yeah, but I was about to finish that sentence. I didn't need you to finish it for me. Oh, sorry. Sorry. It's not crime, is it? Anyway, um, yeah, I love random references to shows and movies. I thought everyone thought like me, then I found out they didn't. I thought, well, I'd better just shut up then. I think that's the tragic side of being autistic is like you kind of learn, well, I speak for myself, learn to shut down or filter. It's like if I was going around making rude comments and making people feel bad deliberately, like bullying them or just being offensive, then yeah, put the filters on. But if I'm just quoting from a Tarantino film or telling you who won the FA Cup in 1994, why am I being judged so harshly? You know what I mean? Bizarre. Get songs stuck in my head sometimes for weeks. As a musician, it can be frustrating. A musician, a proper musician in the house. I'm sorry, Moosey, if you already told me that. Um, if someone overemphasizes the word "it," I want to say "'tis a word the knights of Nick." Yeah, good stuff. Um, it can be very disturbing hearing a song over and over again in your head that you don't like or choose to listen to. I I'll tell you a funny story. It's not funny, well, slightly funny. Um, I was at a counter demonstration. So there's a bunch of, well, let's call them what they are, racist and fascist, congregated outside a hotel in England. um, to protest about people seeking asylum, and we knew about this before it happened. So I say we, a group of us turned up and literally stood on the opposite side of the road. So there was a demonstration, there was a counter demonstration. So I was joined the counter demonstration, and I was most annoyed when I heard a snippet of the song "Sweet Caroline" by Neil Diamond. So bear in mind that it's about 50, 75 people, you know, shouting racist things, you know, so-called patriotic things. It's a horrible atmosphere. I was scared, um, but it was important that we were there. But the police did a good job separating the two camps, and I can't remember whether someone played it on their phone or they started singing it just randomly, or the other side started singing it. I can't remember. I should do. It wasn't that long ago. And I just remember getting very annoyed about Sweet Caroline. And I started swearing. It's like, no, no, I don't want that song in my head. I don't want it. I've heard it enough. I heard it on holiday in Portugal 2 months ago. You know, and this is the irony, talks about see, connections. So I'm at this counter demo to oppose these fascists, racists. You know, or people come over to England and they don't speak the language. I'm in Portugal 2 months ago. No one speaks Portuguese. Bunch of English people singing "Sweet Caroline" in a Portuguese hotel. Don't even say thank you in Portuguese. So two things Britain's very good at. One, or used to be, invading other countries, and two, hypocrisy. There we are. Orwell said that. He said it better than me. Put it in an essay. I just said it as a flippant aside in a YouTube live stream. So yeah, songs in your head that you want to get them out your head. You know my worst culprit, Sweet Caroline. Cannot stand it. Sweet Caroline. But she's in my head now. Like, quickly move on, so get it out of my head. It's in my head now. I was humming it. Right, move on. I'm gonna go crazy. It's gonna plague my dreams. Um, I do have to censor what I say sometimes, but sadly, I usually just blurt it right out. Yeah, but it's not offensive. But then I suppose you get into a debate about what is and what isn't offensive. And autistic people get accused of being offensive for speaking their mind. I mean, there's honesty, there's rudeness. You know, 9 times out of 10, it's very clear whether it's one or the other, surely. Yeah? Anyway, I'm too tired to dive into that right now. But yeah, I think some people just get offended by you pointing out things that people don't want to acknowledge. You're not being rude, you're not being trying to demean anyone, you're just saying that thing is that thing. And I don't really care for reputations or people being fake. I just want to point out that that is that, and this is this, and so everyone knows where we stand. Autistic needs for clarity and honesty. So, if you have clarity and honesty, we can make more informed decisions and anticipate things, be more prepared. Is that too logical for you? Oh, it is. Okay. You'd rather I lie. Yeah, well, I'd rather I didn't lie. How'd you like that for honesty? Anyway, sometimes I do feel like Star Trek episode Damok and Jones at Tanagra. Fantastically specific cultural reference. Nice. Great around people who don't know what referencing, but when they don't, I think it confuses. See, I haven't got a clue what you're talking about other than Star Trek, but I'm still interested. Does that count? She just like the fact that you laid it out there, like, da, 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 da. I'm like, what's that all about? I'm intrigued. Not, yeah, Damak and Jared at Tanagra. Hmm, I don't understand that, so you're weird. No, it's like, okay, you're into Star Trek. Cool. Educate me. But if you start talking about car engines, then I won't be so receptive and generous with my attention. Just putting it out there. I think my last live stream, I started going off on one about engines, mechanics. So any mechanics, autistic mechanics in the chat, well, they didn't hang around. They were like, oh, I'm not listening to that guy. I'm going to go and fix a bike or something. Sweet Caroline used to be my go-to karaoke song. I think that's possibly why I don't like it. Well, not just don't like it, like, this is flippant, but I'm going to go with it anyway. You've got things you don't like, and then above that, you've got war crimes. And Sweet Caroline, I don't like it so much that it's creeping beyond that threshold from things I really don't like, going into the war crime territory. And if that doesn't convey my distaste for that song, I'm not sure what will. But carry on. If that's your karaoke song, you want to sing war crime anthems, then you do you, I suppose. It's in my head now. I am going to have to leave you in peace, if only to attempt to switch off brain so I don't have to hum Neil Diamond. Oh dear, how am I going to get rid of it? Good evening, greetings from Andrea in Finland. Hello, Andrea. Welcome to live stream part 3, not 2, because I did have one scheduled. That didn't work. Did one for about 2 hours. That one did work, and I was having a great time. I'm not sure if anyone else was. Internet connection failed, and here we are again for part 3, which is called part 2. Let's go to Camelot. What? Back when I was an alcoholic, to be able to socialize in crowds, I was at the karaoke. Ah, shit. Yeah, yeah. The booze. I'd finished my alcohol counselling just to reciprocate with a similar tale, because that's an autistic way of showing empathy. Yeah, I stopped my counselling earlier this year. Woohoo! I used to be an alcoholic. I used to have alcohol counselling. And if you want to hear another potentially autistic, probably autistic point of view on struggling with alcoholism, read Limmy's book. What's it called? It's not called Bathory Stories. I think it's just called Limmy's book. Let me have a look at that. Limmy. Oh, surprisingly down to earth and very funny. Anyway, Limmy, check him out. Massive struggles with the booze, and came out the other side, and he's doing well. It can be hard to make music when you hear your own songs in your head constantly, because that makes it so boring with perfectionism. You get reminded of what you need to change. Yeah. So I can heartily recommend setting yourself a challenge of writing a song within a set period of time, and just leaving it alone. I think that's setting yourself an artificial deadline is the way to combat perfectionism. It's like, I'm going to do it by 12 p.m. on Sunday. I'm going to upload it, and then that's it. It's done. Because I listen to songs that I've made. They're silly songs, but I still want them to be decent to a point. And I hear things, I'm like, oh God, I want to change that, but it's done now. Move on. It's the only way. I watched some of my many of my YouTube videos. Oh God, all sorts of problems. But what's it? Blind Boy said, failing is not trying, or something like that. You know. So yeah, perfectionism is a trap that I keep falling into, but maybe artificial deadlines say no, it's not done by this time. Well, I have to do it by this time, otherwise that's it. Right, I'm going to wind up soon because I can barely string a sentence together. I apologise. Um, where's that Park Life song when you need it? I find that alcohol made sensitivity easy to manage when drunk. I can handle environments I would never used to be able to. Yeah, well, I do anyway. Um, Watching the Devo documentary on Netflix today. I tried. Yeah, Devo. What does he? Is that why I've seen Devo more than I would normally do? Does it must be documentary on Netflix? Right, I get it. Thank you. Lily, you're like I am with the Rocky Horror Show. But you don't like it? Is it a war crime? Oh dear. Denmark, they meet some aliens that speak only in references, and the crew doesn't know how to understand them initially, despite the universe. I might have actually seen that episode. It's from the early 90s with Jean-Luc Picard. Picard. And the Klingon. And Data. Famous autistic stereotype. Or is he? Have I just made that up? Um, Next Generation, yeah. Must have been that then. Sure enough, you're still here. Yes. Um, well, I think I'm catching up. When you have an engine that won't run, it's a magnificent puzzle to solve. Maybe it's the gas fumes for me. I'm just clueless. I broke curtain rail. I'm looking at them now. Curtain rails. Is that what they're called? Because shame on me, a fly entered the room and I got cross and I started waving a pillow, a cushion around in an attempt to glance its tiny butt cheek and remove it from my immediate environs. I didn't try to squash it, honest. And in trying to nudge the little fly, massive fly, size of a planet, tried to nudge this little meteor away, massive meteor. I I brutalized a curtain. My wife got back and she surveyed the damage. She was like, "Oh, that's another job that I've got to do." I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! That's on my list of jobs, not yours." But I'm dreading it because it's a practical task. Just putting some curtain rails on. It's just beyond me. But anyway, I've got to do it. It's my fault for trying to nudge a planet-sized fly from out of the room. Should be less aggressive next time because I give this impression in my videos. Oh, sweetness and love. Let's all love each other. Harmony. Fly enters the room. So it's a bit of a Limmy impression there. Sorry about that. Sorry, yeah. Sorry you had to see that. You know, I'm sorry I had to see that massive fly. Jabberwocky, what's that all about? Is it gory? Alice in Wonderland. What? Shows a total trek up into convention. Cool. Never been to a convention. Too many people, too noisy. I'm autistic. How do you other autistic people do it? The special interest, the strength of your special interest forces you in, and you just deal with the noise and the smells and But it's not small talk, is it? Just go in and talk about Star Trek, and must be amazing, actually. I've talked myself into it. There we are. I'm going to a convention on how much I hate small talk. It's like, oh, you hate small talk as well. Oh, me too. Let's talk about that. Cool. 8 hours later, just talking about hating small talk. I'm full of the dad jokes tonight. I do apologise. Um, I will round up very shortly. We used to have a party game of throwing out a word, and then we all have to try and come up with a haiku within 2, 3 minutes. That's the sort of game that I would love to play. How are we doing it? Like 12 people. People have gone to bed. That's very sensible. In the last few minutes then, maybe if you could just throw out a word, and then we'll try and think of a haiku, or some of the 12 people who are left. Let's do it. Charlie, you're acknowledging my knowledge of Star Trek: The Next Generation. Yeah, Picard, Data. So say word, no, Worf. Lieutenant Worf, Klingon. I remember him. He's a great one. Richo, thanks everyone for the sweet hang. Nice. That's what it is. Juju, thanks. I'm going to go to sleep. Not surprised, because you're an hour ahead of me in the Netherlands. Ricky, when you're with other people who share that same interest, it can be strangely comfortable. Yeah, absolutely. Bit like this, I guess. Bit like the live stream. But yeah, in person, having conversations with someone and you just click based on a special interest. But because I now know that I'm autistic, I think I'm more guarded because I know that info dumping is a thing. It's a form of communication that is not universally appreciated. So I rein it in more because I know I'm autistic. I've got that voice in my head always that says, right, you're autistic. Most people are not. Amend how you communicate. And even when you're in that comfortable space of info dumping, and both of you info dumping, just be mindful that you can go too far. It's like, okay, brain, I've got it. But actually, it's really difficult advice to follow because when you're in the moment and you're enjoying the conversation about Star Trek or football or autism or whatever, it's difficult to rein it in because you're enjoying yourself. So yes, but it's very comforting to have that connection through a shared interest. Absolutely love it. Because normally for me, it's just a monologue like, oh, I really love music. I love music. I love music. Not Neil Diamond. That song. He's great. That song. I love music. I love music. I love music. And then when I finally get the chance to speak about my level of interest in music with someone else, it's just such a joy. Fart haiku, super. Um, let's do it. Um, we're all autistic at the convention, we're all Trekkies, so it's okay. Thing that made me laugh yesterday was a joke posted for the Flat Satin Society. It's the centre of flat Earth with the rings around it, superb. Um, to share experiences of oversharing, because I think that's a huge thing as well. Find it, I think I did a video about info dumping, but I do get that info dumping not quite the same as oversharing. Yeah, maybe we should do a video on the distinction between the two. Um, but I have already got. Oh, Orange suggested one, recreational arguing. Just thought it was a really interesting concept. So I'm gonna do one about that. I want to do one about. So I'm giving you spoilers here, like scoops. What's he gonna do a video about next? um, and I'm going to do a rather. I want to do a rather academic analysis. Well, it won't be academic. What am I saying? It's going to be pretty dry though, because I'm doing an analysis of another video, and it's video Jordan Peterson and Simon Baron Cohen about autism, and it's an hour and a half, hour and 45 minute YouTube interview, and I'm just going to pick holes in it. And I've watched an hour of it, and yeah, I don't want to do it because it's like it's not the fun. It's not about farts. It's not about me dressing up in my wife's clothes. It's you know watching two ego stroking academics sort of mentally spar with each other and get things wrong about autism. But someone's got to do that work. Someone's got to pick it apart. Some know-it-all, nobody gonna pick apart these two intellectual giants. So yeah, got that one lined up. Info dumping versus oversharing. Um, good one. Recreational arguing. I need to go back to Oren's email and figure out what that is. Loads of ideas, so I'm just going to crack on with the channel if that's okay by you, as long as energy and sanity allows. So I'm going to try and crank out a video a week, thereabouts. So many autism subjects. It's fart haiku, right? Got to think about something now. Neil, had that plant-sized fly, would it have been had that? Yeah, if I'd hit that planet-sized fly, would it have been a flat plate? It would have been. Flat earthers would have loved it. See, there is such thing as a 2D fly. I told you. Right, okay. Uh, Oversharing could be infinite, but it's not intentional. Yes. Yes, I think it's probably you probably nailed it. That's probably the main difference between the two. Um, Sharing it at the convention, I say to microphone space, to find the frontier, the whole of the album will join to say the rest. Oh wow. The Albert Hall of all places. Fantastic. Wonderful. Um, Charlie, I think Simon did quite a good job of gently correcting Jordan Peterson. Oh, you watched the same one, Charlie? You did. Yeah, in fairness, I was bracing myself for Simon Baron Cohen to um, just run with whatever Peterson said. I was expecting Peterson to make all these outlandish claims and Baron Cohen to go, yeah, yeah, fine, 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 yeah, because autistic people are weird, they're mental. I've made a career out of this, that, and the other. I was expecting that, but actually, and this is kind of why I want to make the video, not to just denigrate the pair of them, Peterson in particular, but to actually acknowledge Baron Cohen. He has clearly listened to the autistic community to some extent, and he's clearly shifted some of his ideas, his understanding about autism. So I want to give him that credit genuinely by making my barely viewed video analyzing this interview. I just want to, like all my videos, just want to get it out there, like to say I've done that, and if people want to watch it, fine. I want to say my piece about Peterson versus Baron Cohen. The problem I have is that I've got another 45 minutes of the interview to watch, and I don't want the video to be lots of quotes on the screen because they're quite boring to watch. I think I've realised this way too late. People would rather me do what I'm doing now, just talking and including fart noises and graphics from Unsplash to break up the tedium of my face. I think people would rather watch that sort of video than me saying, "Well, Jordan Peterson said this, da, 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 and then Baron Cohen said this, da, 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 da." It's like 10 minutes of that, 20 minutes of that even can be quite boring. And can take ages to make. So, yeah, I don't wanna just bash Baron Cohen and Jordan Peterson, but I do want to have on record my subjective take on what they said. But Baron Cohen, I was surprised. It's like taking a lot of flack, and clearly some of it's sort of sunk in, you know. Still not entirely happy with him though. But he's director of the Centre for Autism Research at Cambridge University. I'm just an autistic person. What do I know? I've only been autistic for 43 years. I'm not qualified. Um, JBP is definitely not an intellectual giant. I it's weird how he's kind of sort of seeped into sort of general awareness, like because he's meant to be. He is or was a professor. I don't know what in professor of psychology. I don't know where Harvard. I don't know. I've not even bothered to go on wiki. I just know about Jordan Peterson. Um, how is that? He's clearly achieved a level of popularity beyond academia. He's not a niche interest. He is like a mainstream academic. Um, but when I heard the first hour of this interview with Baron Cohen, I was like, I mean, I am a pompous prick a lot of the time, but fuck me, what's going on there? But more to the point, the inaccuracies about autism. There's one point when Baron Cohen challenged Peterson's view that autism is a disorder. Now, I know that's very contentious, and a lot of autistic people say it is a disorder. Okay, I get that, park that. But Baron Cohen said, well, actually, no, yeah, some autistic people um, would not use that word, disorder. And then immediately when the conversation, when Peterson had his turn, it's almost as if Baron Cohen wasn't there. Just like, oh, well, disorder this, disorder that. It's like, are you even listening? Why have you got this guy in for an interview if you're just going to spout what you think and not appear to listen? Anyway, I I want to make that video, even though it's going to be quite dry and it's not going to have lots of jokes in it. Or maybe it will. I don't know. Jeanette's here. Hello, Jeanette. How are you? It's very late. God, it's 2 past midnight. And this is part three, really, not part two. And I started at 9. God, three hours, which is quite a short run for me. My record is 4 hours, 45 minutes and 12 seconds. And it honestly feels like half an hour. It doesn't for you guys, I'm sure. Feels like a reach slog. Is that how they say it in Lancashire, Jeanette? A reach slog. Um, yeah. Kermit versus Jordan P would be a good debate. I ought to at least look at Peterson's Wikipedia and find out what all the fuss is about. But I just have this vague idea that he's a right-wing academic who isn't all that clever. Have I got it right? Sorry if you like Jordan Peterson. It's not easy being green. Telling me. I've been green for 15 years, mate. I get no end of abuse for it. I'm more fashionably late seeing you talk about subjects for future videos. Yeah, what about bottom-up thinking as opposed to top-down thinking? Autists tend to be the former. Well, Jeanette, I have to say, for the best part of 3 hours, I have spoken a lot about bottom-up thinking. Um, that's a reference to the fact that my next video will include fart noises. But yeah, this is a genuine topic that I should think more about. Bottom up versus top down. Fantastic. Yeah, on the list, the growing list of autism YouTube video ideas, but it's all good because I want to make them. I really do. I really want to. I want to get to a point when I've run out of ideas, like for autism YouTube videos. I'm not looking forward to it because I'm enjoying making them at the moment. Um, but I'm either going to stop because I've just run out of energy, or I've run out of ideas, and I'd rather stop because I've run out of ideas. It's like I'm done now. I've said everything I can say. I'm done. There's no more left. I've made 578 videos about autism and my autistic experiences. No more. But at the moment, I just feel like I've scratched the surface. So it's a good situation to be in, I think. I think people educate on autism or neurodivergent should have lived experience and not just share some facts about how we're perceived and our struggles. So pathologizing. Yes. Yes, 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 Isabella. This is what I've said in my workplace. This is what I've said to people who are in the field, autism studies or in education who are have influence over how autism is taught or how they train people in understanding autism. I just keep saying, get people with lived experience. Me, but not just me, and I mean that. I mean other people, as many voices as possible. Don't just spend £2,000 on a company with a glossy website and assume that they know everything. I'm saying this because I looked at a website a few weeks ago, about a month ago, um, and immediately, I say immediately, 10 seconds after reading the first paragraph, I was like, no, 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 that's not framing autism in an autism-friendly way. That demonstrates understanding. It's a pathologizing terminology of autism. It's clearly sort of the DSM-5, you know, diagnostic statistical manual of diseases terminology, pathologizing autism. No, no, no. Listen to people with lived experience. Um, and I'm part of that. You're part of that. We're all part of that narrative, that counter narrative of for years and years and years, autism has been sort of pathologized, demonized, and we're all normal people with autistic brains who want to live free and fulfilling lives like everyone else. So if you listen to us and stop reading these scary manuals, then you'll understand far more. But trying to break through that, that racket is not the right word. That industry, like we're professionals, so who are you to say you know about autism? Because I am autistic, you bellend. You can't say that, can you? Not at work. Did you call me a bellend? Sorry, what? The end of a bell? What's that got to do with the working environment and autism? Well, when I was 14, it was a very powerful insult. And actually, now I'm 43, that insult still holds some power. So I'm going to keep using it if it's all right with you. Okay. Sorry if you're in the States or elsewhere, not in the UK. But I've just used a very, very childish, yet very amusing to me insult, just to give some context for the use of the expression bellend. Okay. And if you're offended by that expression, I apologize, although not really. So yeah, that was fun. That rant. Sorry about that. What's the view on Tony Atwood? Um, I don't know who he is. Canadian professor of psych. He's an influence. Tony Atwood. That shows you how clued up I am. Tony Atwood. Vaguely, although I'm just probably saying that because I know someone with that surname. Hmm. I'll look into that. Tony Atwood was one of my first. Wow, that shows you how uninformed I am about autism academia. Um, yeah, let me catch up. Being Sasha's brother too. Okay. It's likely I can't do the same things. NT people, you'd have to find ways to conform. Absolutely. Masking. For me, I'd say autism is a disability, but not a disorder. Yeah, I do get that. But I see the social model of disability. I'm disabled by environments rather than something inherently broken up there. But yeah, it's late and I'm not going to go into that right now. But yeah, social model of disability. Um, Peterson's info dumping. He speaks much longer than his question he's supposed to be interviewing. Yeah, I just got the impression with the Baron Cohen interview that because the cameras were switched on, Peterson felt obliged to construct four-part questions when a single part question would have done. Like, what do you think about autism? But that's too simple for a expensively produced interview with the director of autism research studies at Cambridge University. You can't just ask a simple question like that. You have to add three separate clauses to it to make out that you're really clever. I got the distinct impression that that's what he was doing, and it got on my tits. So yeah, but I'm not his audience. Um, I'm more a fan of Ronnie Peterson. Ronnie, Ronnie Peterson. No? God, almost done an hour. Wow. Well, I better shut up soon. Um, I've got that Neil Diamond song to sing in my dreams. God, looking forward to that. Oh yeah, meant to do a fart haiku. Sorry, Jeanette. Went a bit lowbrow while you were not here. Um, Speaking of farts, here's my fart haiku in case you missed it. Take a deep breath in. Oh no, who would do that then? Ah, the dog did it. Superb. That's that's set the bar, that. Am I awake enough and inspired enough to write a haiku, a fart haiku? Quickly, because I'm going to catch up the comments and then leave you in peace. I mean that. Um, I did egg. Okay, that's how tired I am. I misspelt the word fart. Not a good start. Not, not. 1, 2, 3. Not. I did the farts. Not really. Really. Oh no, I've messed it up. But let's abandon ship there. I rhymed fart with start, and that poem would have come from my heart. Let's just stop there. Rubbish. If you can do better than that, let me know. But you've got 3 minutes. Homework starts now. Peterson also uses a lot of words. Can make one sound very smart while saying often pretty basic things. Yeah, I think it's kind of there's a cliched, predictable thing to say about academics, that they, you know, say simple things in convoluted ways. But I've found that that's often true. Just say things that could be said in much simpler ways. I see it, I hear it at council meetings. And there's one report that I read, or one paragraph I read, and I So I just lost the will. It's like, but surely if you take out 19 words in that heading, it was a heading actually. If you take out 19 words, what you're trying to say is objectives. Trying to do my hand the right way, left to right, left to right, left to right. Anyway, objectives. 19 words you took to say that word, or goals, or whatever it was. It's just bizarre. It's like, who are you kidding here? Just say say the thing. But people need to not it's not intellectualize, it's not the right word. It's just overcomplicate simple things to sort of create this pretend barrier between them and you to make out that they're better than you. It's like, just say the thing, then we know what you mean. But that's a very autistic way of looking at things because we want clarity. But dressing simple things up in complicated words is a form of lying and hierarchy. It's like, well, I know the code, you don't. So go away, you clarity-seeking autist. Well, it's a bit pretentious, isn't it? Um, have I heard of jumping the shark when nothing else is left to do? I don't think I have. What is jumping the shark? I dread to think. What is it? I'm intrigued now. I'm scared to Google it. Um, did I make a video on RFK at this Tylenol claim? Oh, RFK can get. Uh, what has he said now? Tylenol. What that it causes autism? I've already done a video about RFK. Well, I'm not about him, just him, but I did mention him a few months ago. I kind of don't want to talk about him anymore. Sorry if you were desperate for my hot take on the latest brain fart from RFK Jr. I think Autistic AF, Mike at Autistic AF has done a video about that. So yeah, that'd be my recommendation. Um, but he's an extremely dangerous man, not Mike. Um, not to my knowledge, anyway. He might be a ninja, I don't know. Um, but RFK Jr., no, 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 no. So that would be my video, just me doing that. Just no, 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 no. Thank you for listening. Take care. Bye. That'll be it. Monetize that. There's also up bottom thinking. Isn't that what dogs do when they're sniffing each other out? Is that what you mean? I don't know. Very, very peculiar. Or is it? Or is it just a different way of communicating? It's not weird, it's different when dogs do that. Yeah. Okay, I'll just stop going now. Anyone else suffer from headaches, migraines as part of the autism and stress which come from along? Had headaches for the past 24 hours. Well, I've not really helped if you've been listening for the last 3. Sorry about that. But yes, headaches, migraines. I, not me personally, but I've read a very little amount about migraines and autistic people. So sorry that I can't relate to that, but I'm absolutely certain that, well, if not in this chat board right now, but there'll be lots of other autistic people who can identify with experience of migraines. And indeed, people have, because I scroll down and they're identifying with it. I really hope you talk about autism like it's something to be ashamed of, and that's so hard to get. It's incredibly dehumanizing and patronizing. People talk about autism like, oh, you suffer from autism. No, I suffer from people thinking autism is something that people suffer from. Suffer from your ignorance and your prejudice, and your inability to accept people for who they are. That makes me suffer because you make me feel bad. Autism doesn't make me feel bad. Autism is just my brain. I'm perfectly neutral about that. It's just I was born with this brain. It can be absolutely amazing to live inside this brain. It can be a challenge because I'm trying to constantly adapt in a world that's not designed for someone with a brain like the one I have. But that's not because my brain makes me suffer. It's because my environment and people make me feel like I'm the bad one. Understand? And by the time I finish that monologue, they've left. 'Cause I don't want to understand. Yeah, but that makes me suffer. The fact that you can't be bothered to understand. Not being autistic. Being autistic doesn't make me suffer. I'm not suffering now. I'm having a whale of a time. It's 20 past midnight. I should be in bed. I'm having a wicked time. I'm absolutely immersed in autism. I'm not suffering. I'm chatting nonsense to other autistic people. It's great fun. I'm not suffering. Highlighting my week. Yeah, weird thing to say. You suffer from autism. No. Um, so anyway, sorry about that. An Aurora migraine, crikey. Um, Let me catch up. Bear with me. 16 people. You guys are legends. Um, Sharing tips about migraines. Fantastic. Um, I've got a second win now, Shona. That is the content that I'm here for. Good work. I got a second win. It's weird, isn't it? Like, because I was flagging, and then buzzing, feeding off your genius. Thank you for that, Isabella. Talk to you in the next stream. Thank you, Isabella. Sorry if you've already gone. Um, Go and see Isabella's channel. I'm saying that because I don't watch as many YouTube videos as I used to, but go and watch Isabella's channel. Um, Rich, I've passed gas quite a few times in this live stream just saying, feel free to share, but not your fumes. Thank you. It's a good job. You're presumably miles away. Yes, thank you for your honesty. Appreciate it. I'm autistic. I like honesty, but I don't like other people's farts. So, but yeah, thank you for sharing the knowledge. Not, yeah. Um, American TV Happy Days running out of this. I don't want to spoil it, but yes, YouTube it. I know Happy Days. I know the channel, the program. Yeah, 70s program set in the 50s. Yeah, the Fonz. Um, Isabella, you make a great point. You don't have to say much. Okay. Uh, Mike is very dangerous. So many cats on his side. Okay. Russell, it's probably a reference to last resort kind of situation, like if you're underwater and the shark is heading towards you, then jumping on it might work. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. Mike is dangerous if he suddenly switches his entire personality. Ooh, don't know about that. I tried to nudge a fly earlier. I was quite dangerous then. We on that level? Mike's got Discord. Mike's got a clothing range, isn't he? And mugs and mouse mats. It's it's just extraordinary how extensive his YouTube empire is. And yes, I'm bitter and jealous. Yeah. Um, Please don't ignore persistent digestive issues. Just saying. Um, no, well, my next video is entirely about digestive issues. I know I've been going on about farts, but actually, to be serious. I've had stomach issues since I was at sixth form college, and I say that in my video. Um, and the reason I made the video is not to just insert fart noises into a YouTube video, genuinely, is because my stomach has been giving me so much grief recently. I was like, I'm going to make a video about this because I'm in pain and I don't like it. Um, so yeah, but farts are funny, so that's why I keep talking about them. But yeah, the video was not prompted by that. It was prompted by the fact that I've had stomach issues for 27 years. I won't go on and on about it now because I made a video about it. But yeah, if you do have stomach issues, you should go and see someone about it. Yeah, preferably. Um, yeah, my autism doesn't cause me suffering either. Even its lack of acceptance gives me suffering. Yes, yes, yes. You are not the one that causes your suffering. It's the other people who don't accept you. I don't care how worthy that sounds. It's true. You know, if you're in an environment where people accept you, like I am in now, you're happy. You're not suffering. If you're in a group of people who don't accept you, you're suffering because of them. And yet we're made to feel responsible for the suffering that other people inflict on us. Make it make sense. Um, Isabel, thank you for the promotion. Try to make it, but I can't promise. That is my mantra, yeah. I try to make excellent videos, but I really cannot promise because I don't have the ability or the resources or the, yeah, I can't promise because I can't do. So I just make slightly better than average videos if I'm lucky. That's the goal that I'm striving to achieve, you know. Setting the bar so low, it's a trip hazard. There we are. There's a dad joke. Is that a dad joke? I don't know. Um, yeah, please feel free to put links in your own links to YouTube channels, YouTube autism articles. Should have said that 3 hours ago. Um, yeah, I'm going to wrap up because I'm forgetting my own name and where I am. And I'm sure you've got better things to be doing. But it's been a blast. I've been one of my favourite live stream evenings. It's been brilliant fun. I'm just gutted that I lost people because of the internet interruption, which I had no control over. But I'm so chuffed that you guys resumed. Enjoyed the second part as much as the first part. Been brilliant. I've done about 20 live streams now. That's not a boast. What I'm trying to say is I've done some live streams and it just not been as fun. And I don't really know why, because sometimes I've been like super energetic, like, you know, a lot more energy than I have now. And it just hasn't worked. I think it's mainly because of it has to be because of the chat, because I'm vibing off what you're saying. And if you're not saying anything, I can't vibe. I can't make random associations. I can't make dad jokes without any prompts. So thank you, everyone, because you're responsible for the good times. Some live streams, they've all been fun, but some not as fun as others because of the quality of the chat. Nothing to do with me, nothing at all. Contradicted myself there. Flatulence is fun. It emanates from one's bum after eating pig. That's a haiku. Oh no, Jeanette, you've gone. Hopefully you're there to acknowledge my appreciation of your fart haiku. That's amazing. That's wonderful. Oh, I need to copy and paste it and then steal it and claim credit for it and tell all my friends and family that I have written this haiku that not only includes mention of farts, but includes mention of beans. Eat that, Shakespeare. Although Shakespeare probably did do a haiku about farts because he's written about everything, isn't he? Every aspect of human experience. Shakespeare's already done it. Everything else is a mere copy of Shakespeare. Apart from Jeanette's haiku, though, that's special. Superb. So, plan on talking about more about music, some ideas like doing interviews with neurodivergent people and do collaborations. Yeah, want to hear more about that, Isabella, not just because I'm a massive egotist and want to be part of it, but genuinely let us know. Keep us updated. If I can do a community post or just shout about it in any way, let me know. Oh, Tita Jenny's here. Hello. And once again, Jenny, I am going to log off just as you've joined. And that's nothing personal, but it's just a time difference. It's midnight here. I'm so sorry. Good to see you. Autistic Jenny, going to see her channel. Really big inspiration to me, particularly in the early days of me doing this. Her and Paul, adult with autism, really made me think I can do this. And here we are, having this cozy chat. So yeah, Jenny, good to see you. Sorry, I am going to go because it's very late. Weird when don't try to be interesting, I give myself the freedom to just express myself. No, carry on. Carry on. Info dump away. If you're a dad and you make a joke, then technically dad jokes are good. Yeah, I'm doing what the job description says. I think. Jenny, yeah, you did catch the end. I'm so sorry. So what's the time? If you're in Alabama, it's what? It's tea time. What's early night time? 12:30, 7:30. Yeah, that's put your feet up, wind down for the evening time, and I'm 12:30 here, so it's way past my bedtime. Sorry. Um, yeah, Paul, thank you. Good to see you. Yeah, good to connect with the chat. I think it might be the first time. I'll definitely do another live stream. Might force myself to keep it more succinct because I don't want an internet breakage again. But then that can happen within the first half an hour, so I don't really know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I will do another live stream, give plenty of notice, maybe a better time for Jenny. Maybe not do it at 9 p.m. UK time. I don't know, but I can't please everyone. Lucy, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Charlie, Richo, yeah, 9:30. Yeah, I shall bid you all farewell. Thank you so much if you who just joined like Jenny has. So sorry, Jenny, but good to see you nonetheless. Um, Thank you for all the ideas. So I'm doing that awful news presenter thing I do, trying to round it off in a neat and tidy way. Like the autist I am, I don't like imperfect endings. I don't like imperfect anything. Shona up in Dundee, thank you very much for being here, for making me laugh. And yeah, thank you everyone. So loads of ideas. I've got names of academics to look into. Hoping to post a video Sunday evening if I can get my act together tomorrow. Work's going to get incredibly busy for me, I think, from next week. So I might not be as prolific as I have been, which annoys me because I just want to do this all the time. But that's just me waffling on about me. It's not all about me. If you do want to offload or share thoughts, I'll put my email in. I don't really get many emails, which is fine. I'm not not upset about that. It's just sometimes people want to share lengthier messages and have a chat via email. That's fine. So I'll put my email in. I'm not the guru. I'm just a pair of ears, happy to listen. Just not alien at Gmail. Cool. So yeah, otherwise comments under the videos, community post. If you want to talk about setting up your own channel, I'm not an expert, but I will help bounce ideas, all that sort of stuff. Okay, thank you all. 12 people in the room at this God forbidden time. Crikey, although it is for me, not if you're in Alabama and it's 7:35. Cool, thank you everyone. So I'll leave you to it. Hopefully get up early enough to edit that video, and it's not all about farts. It does have serious things in it. 1:35, yeah, in the Netherlands. Crikey. Okay, guys. Oh, Helen. Oh, hang on. You said something. Was it yourself? Oh, I'll catch up another time. I copied and pasted the chat from the previous chapter of this live stream because I wanted to make sure I could respond, but I'll do that another time. I've saved it as a Word document, Word document. So thank you all. Sorry if I didn't respond to any comments. I'm going to do 3, 2, 1 because I never know how to end these things. Take care, and thank you so much for being here. It's been so much fun. Okay, 3, 2, 1, bye.